The people who didn't go for their own goals, who didn't believe they could achieve their wildest dreams, failed themselves. Because they didn't have the strength to go down the path that you went down. Anyone that's ever done anything great or gone down a non-traditional route has been faced with criticism, haters, and people who just didn't fucking believe.
You should just stay the same, do whatever you're doing, and don't change, because the world needs to accept you as you are. And that's it. It's something I will never ever tell you. Why? Because that's the worst advice ever. The world does not owe you anything. People don't owe you anything.
You need to build a life you're proud of. Life is happening every single minute, you know. I talked about this in another video, but you cannot constantly be yearning for the future. You book a trip because you hate your present and you want to look forward every day to that trip in 8 months. Life is moving by you. Every single day is a day closer to your death. For real. You want to enjoy every single day.
So, you don't like yourself, you create another version. Maybe even act. If you start acting like it, you'll become it. There is no other way. I don't understand why people say like, oh my god, this is like magic, it's not real. How is this magic? If you start doing what the higher version of yourself would do, obviously you'll become her. This is like very logical.
We are not each other's enemies. And in a world where pretty much everything pits women against each other, and it's so much harder for women to get the same respect as men, to climb up the corporate ladder, among many other things, women need to be there for each other, and we have to support each other. Another woman is not your enemy.
Energy is so important. It is not about looks most of the time. Do I look good? Yes. We're not gonna act like that's not true. But I'm also not the most beautiful person on earth, you know? So it is my energy that attracts people.
While you're trying to do all these things to get him to like you and to manipulate him, you will probably lose sight of the fact that it's just as important that you like him. When you're dating, always go into the date with the mindset that he needs to prove himself to me just as much, okay? Don't feel the need to prove yourself to people who don't see your worth. I think as a woman, we always feel like we do need to prove our worth, especially because society sees women as such one-dimensional creatures. You're either smart or pretty. You can't be both. And if you're both, I feel like people don't take you as seriously. For example, if you're pretty and smart, maybe she's not that smart. Or she's pretty, it's just makeup. There really needs to be a movement where women can be perceived as being more than one thing.
She asked me, Liz, do you think I should ask him why he ghosted me? What did I do to you guys? Like, no, honestly, like, what did I do to deserve this? What is this? What is this behavior? I want you to go to a shoe site, yeah? Like any shoe site, whatever, wshoe.com, and click your pair, like your shoe size, whatever. And I want you to find clown shoes, yeah? When you find the clown shoes, I want you to take them and put them on, because that's what you are.
Top 20% of people, they can compete with the other top 20% of the people. But the bottom 80% of the people, they are the ones who compete with that top 20, and they don't stand a chance. You're like automatically disqualified if you're down here. And I said to people, the bottom 80%, it's not that they're necessarily unqualified, it's that they don't go above and beyond, while the top 20% are going above and beyond. You're not going to work as hard as the top 20% that you're competing with. You're going to stay in the bottom 80%. The bottom 80% has no chance. Because you know those resumes I opened the email, did I read it? I didn't even read it.
Just talking about how people got obsessed with her, how people found her mesmerizing, and talking about her long-term relationships and friendships that they got obsessed with her, should have never triggered a confident person.
When you're yourself, you're giving other people permission to also be themselves. And if you feel like you make other people feel insecure, that's literally a them problem.
I never in the first place went into something thinking that this will last forever, you know? I think one thing that is promised in our life is that nothing lasts forever. And I think once you develop that mentality of like, hey, listen, this might leave, you know, a relationship, for example, I really dislike it when I see people completely do everything in their relationship and base everything solely on their relationship. And then after years, when it ends, these people don't know who they are anymore. You are constantly gonna whine about, oh yeah, she has pretty privilege, so it's easy for her, whatever. Okay, you have 2 arms and you have 2 legs. Well, there's somebody out there that doesn't have that. Well, you have leg privilege, you have arm privilege. Let's talk about that. You can see, you have not being blind privilege. And screw all of that. Let's talk about the fact that you have food on your table. You can afford a phone or a laptop or whatever to watch me on the screen.
All my life, people would say to me, Simone, you're kind of intimidating. Like, maybe it's my resting bitch face. Maybe it's a host of factors. And I used to really dim myself and my achievements and who I was. I would try to make myself look uglier to make these insecure people around me feel better. And then I had this epiphany when I was 19, where I just realized, fuck you. I actually like myself, and if you're intimidated, that is not my problem.
Either you get tough or you let life make you tough. It leads to more negative emotions. You will start to feel self-pity, then you will start to feel anger and jealousy and everything. And then it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everything that happens, oh, but it's just because life hates me and everything is bad and everything, and I don't have anything. That's literally what you're gonna go for every single time something bad happens. Instead of just looking in the mirror and be like, hey, you know what? How can I fix this?
We're all like, oh my god, like, she should not be teaching women this because now it's going to be harder for us to date. I'm not doing it for you, I'm doing it for my ladies. Women are not done by 30. Amal Clooney met George at like 36. So many others meet their husbands later on. Women will forever get pursued.